Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor back in the Warden who's in Grimbeorn's lodge and ready to start a new stage of the journey by talking to Gandalf right here.
The darkness has settled upon the Vales of Anduin.
We're doing the interlude, Shades in the Swamp. A darkness has settled upon the Vales of Anduin, Beriathan. Can you not feel it? The Bjornings and the woodmen have made homes for themselves among the hills and the trees. They are not strangers to the press of the shadow, but of late it has become deeper. Elrond's household will stay for a time at the Bjorning Hus before continuing on to Gondor for the wedding of his daughter Arwen. While they remain in the Vales of Anduin, they will rely upon the hospitality of Grimbeorn, Lord of the Bjornings. Speak with Grimbeorn and learn if he has noticed anything untoward among the Vales. I doubt not that he will welcome any attempt to make safe his land and that of his neighbors. So it's recommended, but not necessary, that you complete the first 10 chapters before doing this. This is a ramp up for the Black Book, especially for the characters that use the Valar boost up to level 120. But man, you miss so much on this interlude if you didn't do the previous chapters, especially chapter 10 that we just finished, the last episode.
My scouts report seeing strange lights among the fetid pools of the Gladden Fields.
Gandalf speaks of darkness that has settled upon the Vales of Anduin. I have felt it too, but the lands of my people will not be threatened as soon as will others. My scouts report seeing strange lights among the fetid pools of the Gladden Fields, and some have heard a woman's song keening on the still air. It has always been a strange place, home to shades and spirits, but of late these reports have become more frequent. Has something changed? I cannot say and will not, but I will face it with tooth and claw if I must. That has always been my way.
The woodmen live nigh to the Gladden Fields. They will be the first affected.
The woodmen live nigh to the Gladden Fields, and if some evil has stirred up the shades there, they will be among the first affected. I did not fight to defend them so recently at the old fort for them to succumb to a new danger so soon afterward, Beriathan. Go to Hultvís at Wood's Edge and find someone who might know what has happened to disturb shades and spirits formerly at rest. One of their hunters may best know, Beriathan. Speak with one of them. Perfect. And now that we also need to go back to Hultvís, this is the perfect time as well to complete this introduction quest that we got a couple episodes ago. We didn't read what this was all about, so let's check this out. Radagast has traveled to the woodman village of Hultvís and seeks your assistance with strange shadows that have appeared along the river Gladden. Many woodmen have noticed an eerie gloom near the entrance to the Gladdenmere. They came to Radagast seeking answers, and you should speak with him in Hultvís as soon as you are able. Alrighty, that's where we're headed next as well. We've already been advancing some of these quests. Last time we were in the Gladden Fields. Wandering Glooms, Lost Lights, Strange Waters, and the Shades, the Spirits. That's what we've done so far, and now we'll get the chance of going back to the Gladden Fields and finishing the rest of those quests. You will also see here on my quick slot, I finally have the master in the Bjorning Hus, so I took the time off camera to do a couple more of those quests and get enough tokens for the travel skill. And in doing so, I've also completed these other two deeds, the Workslayer Advanced and the Protectors of Wilderfolk, that I will show you in just a moment. And if you're wondering what is this is the plugin Deed Tracker by Cube that allows you to keep track, as the name says, of what deeds you have completed, which ones you have not. And it's also very convenient in that it gives you this window with your recent completions, and this one doesn't reset when you log out. So we can clear the list, and let me show you really quick those two deeds that we completed. So Workslayer Advanced, we got some runes, 2000 virtue XP, and we also have Protectors of the Wilderfolk. We needed to complete 20 of those dailies for more runes, and that also unlocked the advanced tier. We need to finish another 20 of those quests, so that's about 5 more days of dailies, give or take. In doing so, I also managed to level confidence, cap it up at 65, and now I'm earning towards loyalty. It's a little low, my taste, so that's what we're doing now. Beriathan, dear friend, you have done much to help my home and those in my care among the Vales of Anduin. I need your help once more. Something seeps into the soil from the lake of Gladden, and although I cannot tell what may be the cause, I can feel a deadly darkness all about it. The ruin of an old dwarf mine rests along the side of the lake, abandoned now for almost an age. The Bjornic Barthmat knows a fair amount about dwarf-made structures, and of course my old friend and ally Gandalf is sure to have an opinion on the subject. More than one, I dare say. Look for him at the Bjorning House. After you have sought out both of them, meet me in the Gladden Fields. Very well? Very well. Oh, come on, Radagast, I was already there at the Bjorning House. Anyway.
Can it be?
Beriathan, can it be? In my heart I hoped you would return, but I feared to send word, and in any event I did not know how to reach you. But for you to arrive at this moment, I dare not hope for it, even at my lowest point. My son Badwila is a hunter, as I am, Beriathan. We were hunting on the west bank of the river, not far from Avavarg, when we were surprised by a party of orcs. That is not unusual in these dark days, and as is our custom, we split up in order to frustrate their pursuit. Badwila knows to return to Hultvís when it is safe, but I have not yet seen him. Do you think you could look for my son? It may be that the Orcs of Avavarg proved too wily for him to escape, and he may be held in their fort on the island. Slay the Orcs there, and if you still do not see sign of him, proceed further south into the Gladden Fields. We heard tale of shades and color lights among the pools, and while I forbade him from seeking, he may have been drawn in that direction after escaping from the Orcs. Please, Beriathan, there is no one else to whom I can turn. Now, I'm not so sure about this one, but yeah, I don't think we'll need to go back to the Bjorning House until we finish this section of the Black Book. So I'm gonna go now to also advance the introductory quest. Thank God for the masters. I mean, you can still go to the stable master, but well, that way we can save some coins. And also, and more importantly, I'm just a completionist on all these travel skills, and it's way more convenient being able to do this.
The Bjornings once made safe the Riverlands. We will again.
The Gladdenmere, you say? I thought that path to the Vale was blocked by a rock slide and we were better off for it. It is not a welcoming place. The old dwarf mine of Kidzul-kalah stands there, they say, long abandoned. Meet me on the mountain path that leads toward Kidzul-kalah when you are able. There is an old dwarf dog there where we can meet. Now, what I wonder is, how did a... Oh, there's a tree carved on the door. That's so great. How did a dwarf mine ended up there on the Gladden Fields? I mean, I don't think Tolkien ever mentioned dwarves living there, but I guess it's close enough to the mountains that a dwarf mine is not so far-fetched. Radagast has been quite busy lately, assisting both elves and woodmen with their various troubles in Edin Lasgalen and in the Vales. I will speak with him at once if you say he wishes it. Yeah, let us meet back in the Gladden Fields, why not? So we're going now, but I don't remember if I took a picture of Arwen in here. And it's kind of her bachelorette party of sorts. That was a really bad joke. But you get what I mean. She's about to get married. So these are her last days as a single woman, as an immortal elf as well. So a very momentous very momentous decision. A very important moment in her life that we're about to witness. So excited to be headed towards the great wedding as well. Even though we still need to wait a little bit for that. Okay, back in Hultvís. So now it seems we should be able to go to Avavarg and continue our search. You might have also realized my morale is a little bit higher than it was on the last episode. I was capped on gold marks, so I decided to get an extra piece of gear. It's not doing much because we're about to begin leveling up again very shortly. But, well, I needed to use some gold marks on something, so why not? Now, here we are in Avavarg, and I don't know, I don't remember if there is some sort of out-of-stock quests for fighting the orcs outside. There wasn't last time we were here, and I don't think there will be on our new visit, but I seem to remember there was one out-of-stock quest on this place, and it seems I was wrong. Yeah, let us just try to dispatch all these orcs as fast as we can. Could you please come here? Yeah. If it shades on the Gladden Fields. Okay. Now we need to find a way the Gladden Fields. Are we sticking to the road? Are we gonna try and swim there? I mean, it seems we are really close. And we could maybe swim. So maybe I'll do that. But also, well, it's a beautiful dawn here in the Vales of Anduin, so I just want to check if we can get some more cool pictures from this sort of high point and have the high ground. Sorry, got to do it. Oh, the time of day has just changed in front of us. I was trying to get a cool picture of the rising sun, and I missed it. It was just a few seconds. Then again, look at that reflection, this sort of bluish reflection in the water. That looks so great. No broken legs. Cool. That's also really cool. Yeah, I think swimming was the better idea for time's sake. I think it was, of course, more realistic going back to the road and then looking for a way down to the Gladden Fields, but every once in a while it's better just to do things fast, you know? Forlorn Glimmer? This is gonna count, right? Yeah, it counts for the Black Book, but not for the other Gladden quests that we have. This is gonna be the last one. Please don't miss. Look for Badwila. Where is Badwila exactly? I mean, yeah, we're really close. Ah, yeah, I see. I see him now. An injured hunter lies among the remains of a dozen orcs.
I think the orcs were trying to take me alive.
Did my father send you to me? We were separated, and I could not get back to the village. I think the orcs were trying to take me alive. That is the only reason I still live. Badwila pauses to catch his breath, but when he speaks again, his voice is still full of fear and his face is pale. Look what the Orcs got for their trouble. Death! Death came for them. It was a terrifying spirit, a shade of evil countenance. It descended upon them and killed them all. It is a wonder it did not kill me too.
It was a man. So it must have been in life.
It was a man, or so it must have been in life. It put me in mind of the tales my people tell of Vagári the Wanderer, the spectre that stalks the Vales. Do you know the story? It is said he appears in the mist from time to time, but few have seen him with certainty and none have gotten near enough to hear him speak. Marhai the Winterhair of the Northmen followed Vagári for a time, but he was missing for a year, and when he returned, he remembered little of the experience. Badwila frowns at you and tests his injured leg. Nay, it is not just this orc wound that troubles me, Beriathan. I said the shade reminded me of the tales of Vagári the Wanderer, and it does, save one difference. As it approached, I felt an overwhelming sensation of hatred, not just for the orcs, but for all living things, and it spoke without breath. It slew every orc, chanting in its terrible voice, and I feared it would slay me as well were it to pay me any heed. But I feigned death, and it did not notice me. Had it done so, this orc wound would be the least of my troubles, and you would have only a corpse to bear back to my father. The words it spoke were not addressed to me, nor I think to the orcs, but as it said about dispatching its foes, it muttered these words without breath. Son of Noblot, it said. Son of Noblot, over and over. I am chilled to remember it. The tales my people tell of Vagári the Wanderer are different. That shade seemed to pass no ill will toward Marhai the Winterhair, and his account contained no report of such malicious intent or frightening chant. What can it mean, Beriathan? I think my leg is well enough to carry me home now, but the memory of this encounter will haunt me until the end of my days. Will I become as Marhai the Winterhair did, scorned by my people? But I know what I saw, and I know it's true. Okay, we need to talk to Gandalf. But as luck has it, we're also very close to Radagast location. But yeah, we also had a chance of coming back to the Bjorninghus. So at this point, it seems this is working a little bit. Yeah, I should have gone back to the Bjorninghus now and talking to Gandalf. So this seems this is actually intended for you to advance or to do at a later stage, but oh well. Gandalf, we have both seen that shades walk in the fields, but that is not the reason I called you here. I am sorry for what I have done. I was a fool to trust Saruman. Look at the destruction he has caused. And indeed, I am partly responsible for the damage his machines have caused here in the Gladden Fields. And the trap into which you walked, all unawares. It was I that sent you into it. Will you ever forgive me for that, my old friend? I wish to right these wrongs, Gandalf, and I will begin here, in the Vales of Anduin. Do not bear the weight of it yourself, Radagast. Saruman deceived us all. I had hoped it could steer him from that path, but alas, it proved not to be. Beriathan, I charge you with the investigation of the Gladdenmere. I will stay here and converse with my friend Radagast, for there is much about which we must speak. Right. Were you much desire to speak with him? Yeah, sorry. I just couldn't resist that one either. If you know, you know. If you don't, then you should. It's lots of fun. A couple more pictures. Different angles of these two wizards. Yeah, because why not? It's a shame though we cannot talk to Gandalf in here to advance the Black Book, so back to the Bjorninghus it is yet again. But oh well. Having a lot of fun, I don't mind going back to the Bjorninghus actually. Plus, I don't think I had ever taken a picture of the Bjorninghus from this distance. And the mountain there, on the background, oh yeah. That was just the trees not loading properly, yeah. Yeah, now that makes more sense, looks more familiar. But still, we have a very cool mountain on the backdrop.
have you learned more about the darkness that has settled upon the Vales?
You recount to Gandalf the tale of Badwila the Hunter and his encounter with a hate-filled shade. Gandalf frowns. I cannot tell you what you think of this story, Beriathan. It is your belief or Badwila's that this shade he encountered is the same as that encountered by my hero Winterhair, the spirit called Vagári by the Woodmen. The Gladden Fields have seen much death and tragedy over the years, and the Woodmen have long reported mysterious lights and unsettling voices in the marshes. It would not surprise me to learn that this is a second shade, as filled with rage as the first seemed benign. The aura of hatred that Badwila described reminds me of the dread that accompanied Sauron's most powerful servant, the Nazgul. But Sauron is gone, and the Nazgul with him. This spectre must be something else, and indeed let us be thankful for that. In point of fact, I believe I chanced upon this very shade during my travels long ago, and thought it gone, never to return. I will tell you of that encounter, but first, I ask that you go outside and speak with Master Elrond. I would like to know what he thinks of Badwila's story, for he is counted highly among the wise, and I greatly value his opinion on the reach of his knowledge. So, Lord Elrond, what do you think? This tale you weave is of great interest to me, Beriathan, but I am afraid I can't...
The enemy is gone, but the things he set in motion may not yet have dissipated.
I am afraid I can provide little insight that Gandalf does not already possess, save this, perhaps. Shades linger most often in furtherance of an oath they swore in life, or a shade of such hatred to remain in this world may indicate that it served some terrible power. The enemy is gone, but the things he set in motion may not yet have dissipated. Whether there be one shade or two at work in the Vales of Anduin, I advise you exercise caution. Whatever may be the truth of it, stories can change over the years. Who can say what the original kernel may have been? Vagári the Wanderer may mean no harm to woodmen or to Beornings, or to those who travel in their lands, but remember that even in the original story, Marhair Winterhair was taken from his home for a year, and returned greatly changed. Ill intent or no, his life was altered by that encounter, and I should judge not for the better. I miss my library, Beriathan. If only I had access to my books, I might say more. But this will have to do. Return to Gandalf and tell him this. I know what the wizard believes Vagári the Wanderer to be, and I caution him that it may not be so. Beware. Yeah, care to fill me in, Elrond, Gandalf? I think I can take part in this conversation. I think I have earned it.
I told
If
you
anything.
I encountered this shade long ago, and it is true.
I accept Master Elrond's warnings, but it does not dissuade me from wishing to learn more about Vagári the Wanderer, and neither should it discourage you. I told you I encountered this shade long ago, and it is true. I walked these lands for many years, watching the trials of men and elves, and lending my aid wherever I deemed it necessary. It was some time after the Battle of Part Celebrant and the departure of the Eotheod that I walked by the side of the Anduin, pondering who would now defend the woodmen against the ravages of the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. Then it was that I saw this very shade. I would have let it be, Beriathan, had it not spoken, but it called me by a curious name, a name I had never heard before, and it drew me on. I pursued the shade into the swamp, and even from so great a distance I could feel the intense aura of its hatred. This spirit should not have been, and I knew that in the Eotheod's absence, such a hateful presence would endanger the woodmen. I cast a spell of banishment upon the shade, and it vanished. I believe it had been gone for good, but now it has returned. I know not why.
That is enough for now.
That is enough for now, Beriathan. I will continue to think on it, but I ask you to conduct a search throughout the Gladden Fields for signs of this mysterious presence. If Badwila's account can be trusted, as I think it can, you may find some clues about the shade's motivations at places where the Orcs and half-Orcs gather. Search too on Tol Sent, the Isle of the Flowers, and among the mounds of Tún Melen. You are certain to find lesser shades among the fields as you search these places. Whether they are drawn here by the presence of the Wanderer or not, they pose a danger for the warm-blooded folk of the Vales, and you should defeat them if you can. It is my hope that your search will reveal why Vagári has returned to this place. If we were to learn that, we might learn much else of use to us. Alrighty, back to the Gladden Fields. yet again. And now this feels like the proper moment in which you are supposed to find both Radagast and Gandalf in the Gladden Fields. So the way I would recommend it, now that I've seen... Oh my god, feels so stupid. The way I would recommend this, now that I've seen how this works, would be, yeah, grab the quest, the interlude here with Gandalf, travel to Hultvís, talk to Radagast, fight the Orcs in Avavark, then fight the Shades in the Anduin, find Badwila, go back to the Beriathan, talk to Gandalf and Elrond, and then you go back to the Gladden Fields to search for the Wanderer. At the same time, that's when you can find a Gandalf and Radagast, and as you have seen, Gandalf is already sending you into the Vales for the landscape quests. The Black Book would also send us to the Gladden Mere, but that is still gonna take a little bit longer, as our exploration of the Gladden Fields has not ended yet. This would have been also a great moment for getting the missing page of Old Mat'ab. You remember I missed one of those pages near Sharky's Low in the Vales of Anduin? And when I was fishing last episode, I took the chance to take a quick detour and get that page. But if I hadn't done that, this would have been the moment. That's what I had planned initially, but since I ended up doing the Rosgovel dailies, I figured I could also take a quick trip back to the Gladden Fields and get the page. But even if you don't, you can still come back as part of the interlude, and you will have plenty of chances of finding the page if you weren't able before. Okay, so we have Tolkien here. The Island of the Flowers is quiet and still. Alrighty. I still need to keep defeating Shades. But I don't see any so far. Some animals, some ruffians. I don't want to fight toads, please. Blood Spirit, we have already fought plenty of those. At this point, we're also gonna finish the advanced Dead Slayer deed in the Vales of Anduin. That's gonna be great. That Glimmer is getting too close to the half-orcs for my taste. Yeah, we're gonna complete this deed just by advancing this quest of the Black Book. That's great. Alright, 3 out of 10. Let's try to avoid these guys as best we can, Garalith. Stay close to me. There is no sign of Vagári among the half-orcs. Thank God, I don't want to keep fighting half-orcs. We saw already how strong these guys can be. And the quality of the debuffs they apply, so yeah. I don't have any intention of fighting more of those half-orcs anytime soon. Wandering Gloom. Ah, this is for the quest. This should also advance the other quest. Yeah. That was great. There is no sign of Vagári among the reeds. Alrighty. Lulstork. Ah, Lulstork is the orc. Yeah, the orc fortress, of course. Which, you might have noticed, is really close to the location where Badwila, Radagast and Gandalf were located just a few minutes ago. So yeah, this only enforces the idea that we are supposed to find Gandalf and Radagast as we are doing this part of the Black Book. You have defeated many Gloom Warders along the River Gladden, making the Vales of Anduin safer. That's great, so that means we're only missing the Gloom, the Wandering Glooms, and the Wandering Lost Lights. So that's looking good, looking good. Okay. We need to get to Lulstork from the south end or from the north end. It seems we need to go to the north end. Can do that. Right. Yeah, enter the invulnerability state if you want. That's not gonna be of any help to you. You saw it, right? There's a Wandering Gloom nearby. Awesome! We completed Vale's Death Slayer Advanced. So let me see what we got with that. Vale's Death Slayer Advanced, some LOTRO points, runes, Virtue XP, so loyalty is now level 53, thank God. We just need to defeat Orcs and Goblins to complete the meta edit, but we're not doing that today. There is no sign of Vagári among the Orcs. You feel a watchful presence from the western side of the Gladden Fields. Yeah, I gotta say, now that I am doing this interlude after knowing how the Black Book of Mordor ends, I gotta say, this was doing a lot more things than I had realized the first time around. Into the Gladdenmere, it's this one. Alright, and this one is very close to Gilvamere. Okay, that's where we're headed. So if this is the first time you are experiencing this moment of the Black Book and, well, the Black Book in general, you might not have realized the amount of clues we've been given in such a short amount of time. At least I didn't the first time I played this. But now that I am seeing this, knowing the full picture, it makes me appreciate this all more. And, oh my god. The Black Book of Mordor gets better when you replay it. Truly. And I expect... I mean, there are some loose ends still left open when you finish the Black Book of Mordor. I expect those loose ends to be solved at some point in the future. And when that happens, I expect that will also make replaying the Black Book of Mordor even better than it already is. Okay, so here we are, Gilvamir, still a little bit south. Ah, okay. Vagári the Wanderer. As you approach the shade, you are overwhelmed by a sensation of dread.
Son of no blood! Son of no blood!
The shade's voice is cruel and cold. It stares past you with wild eyes, seeming to address someone you cannot see, and you are overwhelmed by a feeling of dread that causes the memory of the Nazgul to rise unbeaten in your mind. But the Nazgul are gone, destroyed alongside the Dark Lord. Your musings are cut short by an unexpected realization. The shade is weeping. I ask for only 3 things, it cries, its hollow voice thick with despair. I ask for my life, it pleads. I ask for escape, the shade begs, staring at its face with the spectral hands. The ghastly figure suddenly wrists and shakes. Instead of asking its unseen tormentors for a third boon, it seems to be somewhere else in its memory. I am sorry, it cries. Vagári disappears from view, but you feel another presence up the cliff path to the northwest. Oh, come on, I wanted to take a picture of Vagári. I didn't remember he was gonna disappear. Yeah, now we need to get into the Gladden Mere, and I gotta tell you, the first time when the Gladden Fields was initially added in update 24, this path, as Bartman mentioned, was blocked by some rocks. So when the Gladden Mere was added and this path unlocked, I had such a hard time finding it. Don't ask me why, because Vagári just leaves you there. I don't know what happened to me, but I spent almost 20 minutes running around, trying to find my way. Speaking about unreasonable amounts of time spent doing unnecessary tasks, last time, well, a few hours ago, I was also doing some of the Rosgable dailies off camera, just getting some more taming treats. And I kid you not, I spent 1 hour fishing because the stupid rusty hammer wouldn't drop. Spent 1 hour fishing. I think I went through all the possible fishing spots in the Gladden Fields. And I got about 10, 12 of all the other items and not a single rusty hammer. In the end, out of frustration, I locked another character and I got the hammer on my 3rd try. So I know the devs have said many times before, especially when they were Turbine, that there's nothing wrong with the RNG in the game. It's working as intended, but no, you cannot make me believe this is working as expected when I spent 1 hour looking for an item and then I get it on another character in less than 5 minutes. There's something fishy with the RNG, and I'm fully convinced of that. This is not a rant about the RNG, we're already here. This must be the Maiden of the Gladden of whom the Woodman spoke.
What has brought you to this place?
The maiden stares at you, her face betraying no emotion. At last he speaks, and her voice is like the sound of water falling over and among stones. What has brought you to this place? She asks quietly. The maiden's eyes are deep, still wells. She regards you silently and disappears. Oh no, you are not disappearing on me. You're not. Vagári did. That caught me unaware, but you are not disappearing on me before I can take a picture of you. That you can see there on the background alongside a waterfall, that it's Kidzul-kalah, the dwarven mines that we were told about. That's where we're headed eventually. Alright, so we'll need to keep looking for the maiden. I gotta say, yeah, it was so easy climbing to the Gladden. I don't know what happened to me last time. I feel terrible with myself, basically. The maiden stares at you with enigmatic eyes.
Few only come this way.
The maiden regards you with distrust. "You only come this way," she says, and her voice puts you in mind of a sighing breeze among the reeds. "My friend is not to be disturbed. Go, and let him remain at peace." Once more she disappears and reappears further to the west. So far, in fact, that I cannot see her. But these are also the docks where we need to find Barthmat. Oh, Wandering Lost Light. Okay. Lights and glooms. Yeah. Should be able to find all of those. That's another light, right? Yeah. Dark Keeper. Awesome.
Greetings.
Oh, we gotta get to the northern shore on our own before we can use this. Okay.
The Vales are under our protection.
Hello there, Beriathan. The path here was freed of the stones that blocked it, but now shades and strange shadows descend upon the valley. The elves I met on my travels here wish to assist us. Very few have ever ventured to the old dwarf mine of Kidzul-kalah. I say we learn all that we can of this place, and then return with our report for Grimbeorn.
I have slain goblins today. Can you say the same?
It is kind of the elves to assist us in learning more about the troubles that plague the Gladden. I have conversed with our new companions, and they agree we should investigate the ruins of Kidzul-kalah. We will explore and observe the old dwarf mine and return in safety. Do you agree? Alright, yeah. And picture of this camp. Because once again, the Orcs and elves working together is not that a common sight, but here we are. The Orcs and elves working together. So please smile for the picture, Barthmat. It wouldn't hurt. Okay. That was it. Would you please stop summoning these drowned warriors? There we go. They are not that hard, but they still... It's annoying fighting them. I always hate it when the enemies you're fighting summon more enemies out of the blue. I wouldn't mind if they were wandering together at all times. If you could see the light and the drowned warrior simultaneously, one next to each other, but they don't. An unpleasant darkness has settled upon the Vales of Anduin. Spirits drift upon the Gladden and through the old dwarf ruins of Kidzul-kalah. These fell beings should be defeated if the Vales are to remain safe. Yeah, but what? Where do I go? Or do I need to explore both these paths? I mean, they seem to be... take you to the same place eventually. What do we have here? Something about the waters pouring into the Gladden makes you uneasy. Alright, sources of shadow. Wandering gloom, yeah, please. Another wandering gloom here, okay. Can we climb these stairs? I think, yeah, this is a cool view of Kidzul-kalah, a little obstructed, but a very cool first glance. Oh my god, what's that? These spirits are the only kind of enemies that you shouldn't try to run away from. Every time they get in range, they apply the debuff, and so when you are running away from them, they will get in and out of range constantly, and they can hurt you very badly. The air is still, but the shadow seems to move unpleasantly. You have defeated many wandering glooms along the river Gladden, making the Vales of Anduin safer. Sure, great. You had another source of shadow? No? Shadow source, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I see it. My bad. Okay, you wanna fight, then come and get me. Christ. Let us get the chest now that we're here. Oh, this also looks really nice. Dwarven architecture can be very imposing and solemn. Not a big fan of the Dwarven storylines. I think I have already told you that, but the architecture is great. The maiden stares at you cryptically. So, this is the path. The other path we could have taken. Let's explore this just for the sake of seeing how this place is connected. Even though we will be fighting a lot of spirits trying to do that. But yeah, this is where the paths diverged last time. So it seems we were better off taking the left path. You're floating.
Many are they who seek to harm my friend.
The maiden motions at the encircling hills with one slender arm. Many are they who seek to harm my friend. Long have I kept him safe, granting him the peaceful slumber he needs. How am I to know you wish him well? The maiden falls silent, but her words hang in the air like ripples on the surface of a pond. Then she crouches and picks up a handful of soil, letting the dirt fall back to the ground between delicate fingers. So many of my friends have gone away. Mirrleaf and Brightglad, Sealoth and Lemwest. They planted flowers among the vales, and now their flowers are troubled by the encroaching darkness. Sprinkle this pure oil upon their flowers, in memory of my lost friends, and I will know you can be trusted. As the maiden gazes off to the north, beyond the still waters, images rise unbidden in your mind's eye. You see flowers growing among the camps of your foes in the Vales of Anduin, and hastily mark them on your map. Oh, you are not. The soil feels fertile and rich between your fingers. You are not. Oh my god! You did it! Oh no! Shattermunzo, Lulstrok, Hultvís, and Filzumok. No way! The lore behind this quest was so great. You didn't need to make us go back to the place we just left. It was going so well. If you didn't realize, Gultháva was mentioning the Endwites I don't remember the specifics. Maybe all the names were mentioned in Treevird's song about the Endwives, or maybe not. Maybe there were just a couple. At least 2 of the names mentioned by Gultháva are the names that Treevir also mentions about the Endwives. So we are taking care of their flowers. Once again, we find some of those flowers in the Old Forest, in the Brownlands, and now we're here in the Gladden Fields, in the Gladdenmere. Once again, looking for the flowers of the Endwives. Spirits of the dead roam listlessly as if lost in unfamiliar lands. Oh, yes, that has a long range. And the bad part in here is there's no milestone, there's no stable master to quickly come back here. There's only a campfire, but that will only work if you're a hunter. All the other classes are out of luck in this one. We were already here in Kidzul-kalah, come on. The bridge across the falls is recently broken. Oh, what's that? How do we get to the other side? I think Bartmat will eventually send us to the other side. No. This is the entrance to Kidzul-kalah, is it not? No? Okay, it's not the entrance to the instance. The waters within the ruins move with strange currents. Shadows haunt the ruins of Kidzul-kalah. The darkness has set into even the old statues and obelisks that decorate the aqueducts of the dwarf-made waterhouse. The shadow must be purged from these old ruins if exploration is to continue. Okay, we need to destroy shadow runes and the shadow torches. But I think this is a good spot to end the episode, as you can see we still have our hands full and we have run out of time for today. So for the time being, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.